Hello there, everyone, and a very happy Monday. It is the beginning of a new week. I do hope that your weekend was fabulous and that you have something nice planned for the week. Normally it's the other way around, but hey. So we did have a new Mini Delight release over the weekend. So it does release on a 15th, and today is the 17th. So that is why we are doing it today. I haven't clicked over to the chat. So hello there, everyone that has popped in. Sorry, I've missed you all. The lovely Roxanne will be behind the badge today, and she will be popping in all of the links. Hi there, Lothian. Yes, I am feeling better. Thank you very much. So, without further ado, I am going to pop you guys down so we can take a closer look at this beautiful new set. You know that it does take me a little minute just to pop it down, but when we get there, it's all good. It's all good. Oops, wrong one. Okay, hopefully we are down to the right camera. Oh, okay. So this is the very pretty Mini Delight Calla. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, I'm just, my back's a little bit twingy, but other than that, I think we're good. So this is the Mini Delight Calla Lily, and in here we have this very dainty, as it says, Calla Lily, as well as a number of different sentiments that you can pop together. If you are new to colouring, this may be one to go for. It's really easy to colour in. So hello there, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us and for sharing too. If you do share, you are in with the chance of winning a $15 gift certificate to the Altenew store. So I wanted to show the fabulous woodless colouring pencils today. And I just wanted to show you that if you were starting with your pencil colouring, this would be a great one to go for. There's not much to colour in, but there are some large areas in here so you can practice your shading. Now, normally I would use the lightest ink when stamping onto a piece of coloured cardstock. So the lightest ink that I could use that would work well, I would normally use the sand dunes on the parchment that we have down here, but I am going to go with the Rocky Shore today. Hopefully you guys will be able to see the lines a little bit easier. So we're going to keep it nice and relaxed today, hopefully. Hopefully I don't go off on tangents, but I'm hoping that it's going to be nice and relaxed. So I'm going to pull you in a little bit. Sorry that we do have a little bit of a wiggly camera, so we can stamp some of these images. Now, I was going to ask you guys what color I should color these lilies, but I then thought, why do we need to choose? Let's just do all of the colors we can, right? I do love some rainbow, so that's what we're going to go with. So what I'm doing is I'm using the Rocky Shore to stamp my very pretty images along the bottom edge. Now, I'm not going to worry if these images do overlap each other. You can, if you want to, you can mask these out, but because we're going to be coloring with coloring pencils, that should cover anything that you do overstamp, so don't worry too much. I do want them kind of higgledy-piggledy, so I don't want them all in a straight line. I do want them a little bit more natural. So I'm just going to stamp as many as I can. I'm not sure why we're having so much problems with Facebook with the lives. I don't know. So I am sorry, everyone. Hopefully we're okay on YouTube. So I did manage to get 4 clusters of those very pretty flowers. As you can see, I have stamped over the edge, so it kind of looks like it's one continuous piece. If you wanted to, you could have done a larger piece and then cut these in 2. Completely up to you how you want to go about that. So like I said, I am going to try and use all of the colors on my little piece that we have today. So I'm just going to remove all. I haven't shown you this before, but in our Woodless Colouring Pencils box, you do get this little brochure. And it does give you ideas on how to use, you've got your color wheel in there with all the pencils on, and you also have some blends, which we might use with these coloring. So yeah, I'm going to do that. But there are some really great tips in here as well. So I'm going to pop that to the side, and that's going to kind of be my guide of what colors we can use in these very pretty flowers. And Annette, sorry, I won't. So I'm really wanting a rainbow. I know, me and my rainbows. So I am going to start off with this Peach Perfect, Coral Bliss, and Ruby Red, because I think that looks very, very pretty. So I'm going to take my darkest one, which I believe will be my Ruby Red. And I'm going to add in my darkest shading. Now to do this, I'm just flicking that out. So from the base, I'm probably going to go in a little bit closer. Hi there, Joni. If you need me to go closer in, let me know. And I'm going to add a dark line underneath where the flower kind of curls over on itself, and then add in some flicks there. Again, I'm adding a line where the flower will be the darkest, and adding some flicks in from there. The little stamen piece will add shadow. And also you can take these lines that you have in there and kind of follow those, because they will give you where it's going to be the darkest too. Hopefully that makes sense. So I have my Ruby Red, and then it says it goes up to Coral Bliss. So that's what I'm going to do. This one is the Coral Bliss. And what was the other one? The Peach Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to go over the color that I've already done. So these ones aren't the watercolor pencils. These are just normal coloring pencils. We do have the watercolor pencils, but these are not those. So these are a different kind of pencil. These ones are more, what's the word? Wax based, and they won't dissolve with water. So hopefully that makes sense too. So I'm just going over what we have already done, giving it a scribble here and there if you do want it to kind of pull out a little bit more. I'm going over all of those dark areas. Okay, I did have a little bit of a dot there that I want to get rid of. Just trying to kind of blend those colors in together a little bit more. So I'm just going to properly scribble, and I'm adding that there. Okay, so once I have done with that, you can see that they are blending really nicely too. And then I'm going to take the Peach Perfect like it suggests in our little brochure, and I'm just going to use that to blend everything together. And that's what's going to pull everything. You may need to kind of blow off some of those pencil shavings that you do get now and again. And you can still see some of those like stamped lines. But if you have used a lighter ink, you're not going to get that one. The watercolor pencils, Kelly, I can grab those out later. Just let's do a couple of these flowers, and then we can move on to other ways which we can use them. And if you want me to use some of the alcohol markers too, let me know, and we'll have a go with those. Okay, so we've done like a pinky orange one, and then let's go with a yellow. So I'm going to add a dark color at the bottom. This one is the orange cream. Ooh, that is very bright. It's very fiery. Again, adding around where it's going to be the darkest, and then flicking out from there. Again, follow those little lines that you have. They will give you an indication where the shadow is going to be and when the darkest points are. Kelly, I haven't actually used them with Gansol, but they are wax based, so I imagine that they will work. I'm sorry for the humming, but it wouldn't be alive with me if there was no humming. I'm sorry. You are going to definitely get humming. So that one was the maple yellow, and then I'm just going to swap to the lightest one. You can see that it doesn't take that long to kind of color in an image with these pencils, and you don't need to worry too much about it. You know, just go for it. Just have a play. You're going to find something really cool that you can do. Strawberry, I'm not sure because the woodless pencils, well, the wood pencils that I haven't used in a while, but as you can see, none of my pencils have broken. If you do want to sharpen them, there is a tip in here that you kind of scribble so you can get your tip back, or you could also shave it. So that's what I would recommend for kind of sharpening these. Rather than using them in a pencil sharpener, I would scrape off to get the little tip again. So let's add in some green, and then we can, you know, we can have a play with another coloring medium. Let's do it. Today I was going to kind of focus on coloring with pencils, but you know what? We can do all. So I'm just going to add in some darker shading to that there. I'm using the moss, and just down, I'm going to add in a green center to these. That was the moss. And I'm then going to add another green. As you can see, I'm just really scribbling this down. You can spend a lot of time with these pencils, and they do work really, really well when you use them, you know, as a proper artist. But today, we're just going for it. That was the Shadow Creek. And then last but not least, I have this Limeade. And this is what's going to blend all of those colors together. So just like marker coloring, when you use the lightest color to blend everything together, that is what you're going to do with these ones. But there we go. So you can see that it was really easy to do that. No, Linda, I definitely wouldn't use a pencil sharpener with these. I would scrape off the points to create a thinner point. That's what I would do. Okay, so I'm just kind of doing that. I'm hoping that you can see just how pretty they do look there. And you can see that it didn't take that long to do. And you could definitely do the whole of those with all of those pencils that you have. Someone wanted to look at the watercolor pencils, so I'm going to see if I've got some watercolor cardstock. I should do. Okay, I have a little piece here. Let's go with some obsidian this time. Sorry for wiggling you around. Oh, have I got water? That is the question. I have water in my spritzer bottle. We should be fine with that. So that is the obsidian. The obsidian works perfectly for watercoloring with. And I'm just going to quickly heat set that. So I'm just adding some clear embossing powder, turning my heat tool on, giving that a flick. Hopefully we're good. And then I'm just going to heat set. Oh, thank you, Strawberry. Okay, so because I have heat embossed the outlines, there is no chance of that heat, the ink, sorry, kind of moving about anywhere. I just need to find my pencils. I know they're around here somewhere, but I don't want to fall off my chair. Okay. Hello, pencils, where are you? Okay. They were hiding. They were hiding. So the woodless watercolor pencils do look very much like our woodless coloring pencils, but these ones are water soluble. Okay, so let's grab my faves. You do get these colors as well in the coloring pencils. As you can see, they are right here. My favorites. Oh, that was some ink. Sorry, everyone, if I did scare you. So what I need to do first is get a little bit of water ready and my paintbrush. I have my little mini mister. I'm just adding some water there because I didn't actually fill up my water jar. Okay, so I'm just going to add some of that really dark color, just scribbling it away quite lightly around where I want it to be the darkest. So I'm just going to scribble that on. Scribble, scribble, scribble. And then scribble, scribble, scribble around the darker points in this flower here, where I want it to be the darkest. Hopefully you can just see that I am just scribbling in. Scribble, scribble, scribble. Okay, so that was the darkest one, which was the turquoise or turquoise. I don't know. However you're supposed to pronounce it, but it's turquoise. And then I'm going to take some mountain mist. I'm going to go over those, taking that a little bit further out. So as I would with my normal colouring, but I'm just not really paying that much attention to it. It's going to sort itself out. And then a little bit of the dewdrops. Oh, I forgot to add mountain mist on here. A little bit of that. And as you can see, it is kind of like a horrible mess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paintbrush. I'm just going to load some water onto that. I think this is maybe a little bit dirty. Oh, that would be so cute, Strawberry. So Strawberry is going to make thank you cards with each of the mini delights to give as Christmas gifts. So that would be very cute, especially because they're all very different. You know what I'm going to do? Hey, give myself a little mini water holder. All right, so I'm just using the top from the mini mister. And I'm just going to add that on and just wiggle that about. And what it's going to do is that is going to activate the water-soluble pigments in the pencil and then just move those about. I don't want to add too much, so pull that out. They're just so easy to use. If you do feel that you're getting too much color somewhere, you can take that away. I mean, not entirely, but if you take a dry brush, so dry your little brush off, you can like pull ink out. There we go. You'll see just how quick and easy it is to do that. Let's finish these ones off, shall we? Oops. So I'm going to want a green. Got Shadow Creek. So I'm just going to scribble that to the center. You can see just how scribbly that was. And then we can move that around just using a wet paintbrush. You can see that I am cleaning my brush off because I do want that gradient. If I didn't, because they are so pigmented, it would just throw down a load of green. Okay, so Once I've got those done, we need a flower center. Great thing about these pencils is you don't necessarily need to throw a whole load of colors down. You could just use one and then pull that out, and because it is watercolor, it will gradiate out. Okay, just gonna quickly dry that out. So we can then add some color around the outside. Okay, I've got Desert Night. Oops, wrong pencils. Need to put you away. Otherwise I get confused. So I have a really dark blue. This is the Desert Night. I'm just going to add a scribble around the outside. Maybe should have done yellow. That would have brightened it up completely. Yeah, you can put the water down first. I would recommend doing it this way though. I can show you how it looks that way. So I'm just going to add that color down. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, and then we can then pull that out. And you guys probably know by now that this is kind of one of my favorite background techniques to do. So you add that really dark color around the outside of your image and then just keep pulling it out, and it's going to add a really great look. Okay. All right. Okay, so someone asked if we can add it to the water. So I'm just adding a piece of water down there. A piece of water. Yeah, like you can add pieces of water down. And then you can color into it. And then again, you would need to pull it out. I do find that that leaves more of a scratch mark on the cardstock. So I would always do the coloring first and then add the water. Janice, this one is number 3 from the Altenew round brush set. This is like my go-to paintbrush for everything. Okay, so as well as that, another great way to use these is they are great for traveling. Okay, reason being is you can take the pigment directly from this pencil. So as you can see, I have a wet brush and I've just took the pigment from there, and then you can paint with it directly. I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing this with wooded watercolor pencils because the wood can sometimes rot. So as these don't have any wood on them, it's perfect for taking that color direct from the pencil and then using it. You can see that you are getting a really great gradient with them. You can do that for the other ones too. And then you can mix the colors as well. Okay. Yep, Maxine, definitely use it a little bit lighter, but I find that using the pencil first and then the water gives me the best results, but that's just my personal opinion on that one. Okay, right. Okay, so we've done some woodless pencils, we've done some watercolor pencils. Let's, we're here now, we're doing coloring. Let's try some of a different thing. Let's just try different things, shall we? Okay, I have the brush markers from Altenew. So this is the Hawaiian Shores. I'm just going to try and get rid of some things off my desk so I have a bit more room. Okay. I did have obsidian on there. We should be okay. And I'm just going to stamp in this little bit here. Yep, Maxine. Yeah, I would definitely recommend it doesn't touch the wood because it sometimes can rot. All right, so we can actually stamp with these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the colors. Let's go with purple. And I'm just going to use this on the top of the image. And we can see some different effects that you can get with this one. Okay. So just normal stamping with a pen. You can see just how cool that looks there. We can also do it, but then we can mist it too. So I'm using my mini mister, just adding a mist, and then you can stamp, and that's going to give you more thicker lines. You can also reactivate this ink by squirting it too. And we can also pull that colour out that we have there, as well as adding some more down. So I'm just going to dry that part of my block off. Not very well, it seems. Maybe I just use a block that hasn't got anything on. Yes. I can add some ink down. And we can use that to colour in too. So that's going to give you a really great no line watercolor look as you pull the color out from the line itself. Oh yeah, these are great for hand lettering. I'm not great at hand lettering. So I can give it a go. But I just wanted to show you that there are different ways that you can use the pens as well. Oh, Rosie, I hope that you are saying safe and warm. I really, really do. Okay. Let's grab this. Okie dokie. Yeah, like I said, I am not great at hand lettering, but there are those of you out there that can. So up and down and up and down. But they are great. And if you do want to thicken up those edges, you can just take in that pen again and just really draw them out. That's really quite exaggerated, Lydia. Got a little bit to town. But hey, you can do some really great hand lettering with these because the tip on them is quite firm, but it does have a little bit of give too. Okay. All right. Okay, so I think we've gone over quite a few techniques today. I'm not sure, Linda. I don't actually have the Tombos, but I'll just grab one out again. We do have this really great brush nib on them. They are water soluble, like you just seen with the stamping with them. And we also have this really, really fabulous, really fine tip on them too. So really great for doodling or even adding a message to the inside of your cards. Okay, I'm going to move you guys up now. Oops. Wrong button. Completely wrong button. Sorry, everyone, if I scared you. Okay, there we go. So, everyone, which watercolor brushes? These ones, Kelly, these ones come in a pack of 5, I believe. You get a nice fat one. You get the number 3. You also get a number 4, 2, and you do get a 1 as well. These are the round watercolor brushes from Altenew, and these are ones that I always go to. My favorites are this big fat one and number 3 and number 4. They kind of work for everything, but you can also get the detailed ones, which are very, very tiny as well. So there are 2 choices with the brush, with the watercolor brushes. Okay. Got several sets of those. Which ones, Kelly? Okay. Oh, thank you, Strawberry. Oh, Annette says that they are great to letter with as well. Thank you so much, Maxine, and thank you for your suggestions too. Okay, Rosie, yes, I'm glad you are cozy and warm in your house. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. I do hope that you have a fabulous Monday and that your week just gets better and better. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for sharing. The winner will be announced in the comments just after I finish. Again, everyone, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye.